is going on, you guys? So today we're driving a 2013 Subaru Outback, and this is a car that is capable but also uncompromising. This car will never let you down, and I mean never. So, Subaru was originally founded back in 1953 as Fuji Heavy Industries, and the company primarily focused on aerospace and ground transportation manufacturing. Subaru originally worked as a government contractor as far as the aerospace division for the Japanese government, and they manufactured planes and helicopters for companies like Boeing and Lockheed Martin. And it wasn't until around '68 when the first Subaru was brought to America under the formation of Subaru of America. This first car was the Subaru 360. It was a small little car, but nonetheless, it was still the first step of bringing the car to the US. So in the 2013 Subaru Outback, we had a range of engine options. We had a 2.0-liter diesel. We had a 2.5 H4 engine that put out about 170 horsepower. And we also had the 3.6R, which put out about 250 horsepower, roughly. So the transmission options we had in this car are the 5-speed automatic, the 6-speed manual, and also the CVT transmission. Now, CVT stands for continuously variable transmission, and the benefit of this is that it can change gears through a continuous stream of gear ratios, and this basically brings fuel efficiency, but also this helps provide a more smoother and comfortable driving experience. So when Subaru was working on this car, they implemented a technology called Dynamic Chassis Control Concept, which basically means that they used a higher tensile steel, but at the same time it lowered the car's weight so it wouldn't lug around that much weight. This was used in areas such as the engine cradle because it reinforced that it can keep the engine secure and make sure that the weight of the engine was able to be carried, but at the same time this also helps to isolate the suspension and the passenger compartment for a smoother but also quieter ride. So with this generation, we see double wishbone suspension, but also we see rear suspension components and the differential separate from the rear subframe, because this helps to improve ride quality, but also, again, to ensure interior comfort for the passengers. So Subarus have come a long way as far as equipment, and that's especially true in this generation. We have a lot of technology in here, such as Bluetooth navigation, carbon audio, but more importantly, we have a lot of safety features, such as electronic brake distribution, we have stability control, we have eyesight, which helps remind you if you're veering off the road or you're not staying in your lane, but more importantly, one of the best features of eyesight is the fact that if you don't slow down in time, what'll happen is the car will automatically brake for you. So therefore, it'll protect the passengers in the car, but also what's in front of you as well. So this car is very versatile, and you would expect it to be from a wagon. There's a lot of headroom in here to seat 5 people comfortably. The trunk space is enormous, that you can stow almost anything you want without any problem. And on top of that, the back seats even fold. So if you have longer pieces of equipment that you need to carry around, such as furniture, then it's really no problem with this car. You also have roof rails on top, so if there's something that just doesn't fit inside, you can carry it easily. This is a car that it just provides peace of mind while you're driving it. The owner of this car has had this car for about 60,000 miles almost, and the only maintenance they've had to do on this was regular oil changes, brakes, and tires, and that's it. Now, while there can be questions regarding this car's styling, there can be no doubt that Subarus are reliable. About 98% of Subarus sold in the last 10 years are still on the road today, and that's quite an achievement because these cars are built for reliability, and they're built for endurance and strength. And when you consider the running cost of this car being one of the lowest brands of ownership over a 5-year period, what's not to like about this car? It's very versatile, the handling is pretty good, you know, it's not a sporty car by any means, but, you know, the steering is pretty well thought out, and more importantly, you're not going to have any headaches driving this car. Subaru spends most of their money on engine and suspension and ensuring that all of the mechanics of this car are as reliable as possible. So while there might be some undercutting in aesthetics or body styling, it all makes up for it as far as the performance and longevity of this car. Interior ergonomics of this car are pretty good. You know, this is a 2013, so you do have a lot of modern technologies in here. You have Bluetooth, like I mentioned earlier, navigation. You have a backup camera, which is pretty nice to have, considering that the Outback has slowly grown over the years. And this is a car that's almost as big as an old 7 Series. And, you know, it provides a lot of comfort for the driver, but also for the passengers in here. You have all your climate control, all your radio functions here in the center. You have a CD player, which is convenient. You have your mirror switches here on the left. You have controls in the steering wheel for your volume, for your radio, for your hands-free calling, cruise control. Everything is exactly where you'd expect it to be. And it's not like a lot of other cars where they just scattered buttons everywhere and you need a PhD to figure out how to operate them. So as far as handling characteristics, again, this is a wagon, so there's nothing sporty about this car, but it does handle pretty well. Considering its weight and considering its size, it's really not bad at all. Body roll is not too terrible. Now, this car has somewhat of an inclined roofline, but you can still take turns pretty comfortably and reassured that you're not going to have any problems making a turn. Now, this is a very rock-solid car. You know, they say Subaru is confidence in motion for a reason. If there was a road that went around the world, like on the equator, I would have absolutely zero problems driving this car with any hindrance of confidence. If I could describe this car in one word, it would be versatile. And I say that because, you know, the passengers in here have a lot of room, and you can take it on road trips everywhere. It's completely versatile. There are 8 cup holders in here, which provide a very comfortable ride should you be driving to the shore or all the way to California from New York. At the same time, there's a lot of headroom in here. There's probably a good 6 or 8 inches between me and the roof here. And while this car has grown over the years, it's grown at an evolutionary pace where it's not too dramatic. I also say it's versatile because you have power outlets here to plug in your phone, to plug in all kinds of electronic devices. You have climate control in the back for the passengers, and you know, Subarus over the last 10 years have come to accommodate a lot of creature comforts. So you can get cars with leather seats and sunroofs, and you know, now the modern Outbacks have xenon headlights, for example, and the list goes on and on. But you know, this is a pretty good bang for your buck, considering the limited trim, which has the 2.5, is in the low $30,000 range. Now, if you are looking at getting an Outback, I would get the 3.6R, because that car has about a 250 horsepower engine, and if you want to tow some stuff with this or even load up stuff in the back, you might want that little extra power. Otherwise, if you're just going to settle on the Legacy, the 2.5 should be just adequate for you. Well guys, I hope you enjoyed this review on the 2013 Subaru Outback. If you liked this video, please give it a big thumbs up. Please comment, rate, and subscribe. Thank you very much, and take care.